What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Thursday edition. Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. And yes, here comes 60, straight up, your donkey. One of the great moments in whiskey and wine history, maybe the greatest moment in whiskey and wine history. LSU beating Alabama 2019, halftime whiskey and wine. Here comes 60 straight up your donkey. I don't know who made me the shirt, but send it to me. I'm very grateful. So good morning, everybody. LSU basketball falls Wednesday night at Auburn. First loss of the season. Not terribly surprising. We picked Auburn to win the game. And it was effectively just exactly what we've said is LSU's Achilles heel. It's a team that really struggles to shoot. They don't have pure shooters. And so when they get in a game where the shots aren't falling, if they can't score in transition or get to the rim and finish, it's going to be really hard to win games. So you couple that with the fact that you didn't have Brandon Murray. Tari Eason came off the bench and played 26 minutes, but still clearly isn't himself. It compounded a lot. We got to see Justice Williams for the first time in his LSU career. It compounded a lot of things. Xavier Pinson was in foul trouble early. I think he had 2 fouls in the first 3 minutes. Efton Reed really got a rude welcome into major college basketball from Kessler. Walker Kessler was just dominant last night. 16 points, 11 blocks, and 10 rebounds. He had a triple-double with blocks. So you suck it up and you move on is what you do. LSU wasn't going to go undefeated on the season, and Auburn's a really good team. And the other part that has to be mentioned is, and we've talked about this a good bit with Jimmy Ott. I might have mentioned it last night on Nightcap as well if you were here, that home court advantage in college basketball this year is going to be more significant than ever. Because every first or second year player has never played in a true road environment. Obviously you had, the COVID year last year, so you didn't have full capacity, and then freshmen obviously have never experienced any of this. So, it's, I think LSU, just like they struggled yesterday on the road against Auburn, I think that's going to persist throughout. I mean, look, Alabama beat Tennessee at home yesterday. I think you're just going to see this really one-sided advantage for home teams in college basketball this year. And that's going to benefit LSU equally. So when LSU plays Kentucky on Tuesday, I'm telling you right now, I'm picking LSU to beat Kentucky Tuesday at the Maravich Center. So I think they will win that game. LSU's been magnificent at home under Will Wade. If you watched the game, you saw the graphic last night. Best home record the last 4 years of any SEC team. I mean, that's because Will Wade has been magnificent at home and creating a home court advantage and energy. And it's hard to win on the road in the SEC or in college basketball. So tough night. You took it on the chin, but you learn from it and you move on. If you were here yesterday for Morning Scone, what I said then is what I'll repeat now, which is I would really like to see LSU go 5-2 in these first 7. Win your home games, split your 4 road games. That's Auburn, Florida, Bama, Tennessee. If you can split those 4, find a way to split them. I think you can. I think Florida and Tennessee would probably be the most likely games that you might be able to snag. If you're able to win, you split those 4, you win the home games, you're 5-2 through your first 7, and I think you win the league. So let's see. Hey, Dad, good morning. Paul Forrest, good morning. Blaine Smith, if Days was hitting threes last night, game would have been drastically different. But that's the thing, Blaine. If what's the old saying? If my aunt had a you know what, she'd be my uncle. Like, he didn't hit threes, and you can't really rely on Darius Days or anyone on this team to hit threes because they're not good at it. They're like 280th in the country. I mean, Darius Days was 3 of 12 from three last night. As a team, they were 20% from three, 6 of 29. Yet they kept jacking them up because they couldn't get to the rim and finish because Kessler was so effective. And there is no such thing as a mid-range jumper in basketball anymore. I mean, it's extinct. If it's not extinct, it's endangered. Nobody pulls up from 15. Everyone either bombs threes or they get to the rim and try to lay up or dunk. You talk about Days. Days is a nice shooter, but not a great shooter. Darius Days is a 35% three-point shooter for his career. 35% for his career. That's not great. It's okay. Better than the 20% they shot as a team last night, but that ain't great. He's an okay average shooter. So if you're counting on him to be bombs away, that's a problem because he's not great at it. Blake Canfield, Kelly Gross, Deborah Coward, Jerry DeLucky, good morning. Some of the basketball fans, sky isn't falling after last night's game. Some people forget, like, you're not supposed to win every game. Nobody wins every game. Like, you're going to lose. There are going to be ugly losses. I mean, my God, Kentucky beat North Carolina by like 30 a couple of weeks ago. I mean, Florida lost to a SWAC school. I mean, you're going to lose games. It happens. Aaron Everett, 1 point in the first 9 minutes, don't work well. Team hasn't figured out how to start. Aaron, I don't think it's that they haven't figured out. They started just fine against Lipscomb. It's not them figuring out how to start. They're not a team filled with shooters. So if they can't finish at the rim, it's not going to go well. The fact that Eric Gaines missed, 25 consecutive threes or something like that, yet he keeps putting them up, is absurd. Like, and I get it, there was no Brandon Murray last night, so Gaines started. But and I like Eric Gaines get a lot of criticism. I like Eric Gaines. As a defensive player, I like his length, his athleticism. I don't like him as a scorer because he's not that. And I don't think he's ever going to be that. He's just not a shooter. He's not a scorer. I'm looking at Gaines right now. Eric Gaines is 12% from 3-point line. Stop shooting, bro. Like that ain't your thing. Stop shooting. I mean, it should be like in Major League. Gaines, every time I see you put one in the air, you owe me 20 push-ups. Like, Gaines, every time I see you shoot a three, you owe me 30 sit-ups. Whatever. I mean, Lou Brown, the whole thing. Jeff Markin losses on Wade, allowing LSU to jack up 33s. I mean, it's hard to argue against that. You have to be more disciplined. And the problem was, Jeff, when they went to the rim, they couldn't finish. But you have to be better. You have to get the big man off his feet, get him in foul trouble, find ways to finish. But when that dude's got 11 blocks and you just refuse to shoot a mid-range jumper, that's what you get. I got a good news, though. Every team in college basketball doesn't have an elite 7-foot shot blocker at the rim. Ryan Amanda Guidry, what's up? John DeRoche, what's good? Telly Bettis, we're too small. No, we're not, Telly. We're not. LSU's got a legit 7-footer in Efton Reed. Tari Eason is I mean, LSU, hold on. LSU had more offensive rebounds. LSU had 15 offensive rebounds. Auburn had 11. Now, granted, they had more chances, but LSU had more offensive rebounds. Total rebounds, Auburn out-rebounded LSU 43-37. Don't tell me that they're too small. This team has size and length and everything you need. They got beat on the road by a better team. They couldn't throw it in the ocean, and they went up against an elite rim protector who had a career night. Happens. All right, jump over here to YouTube. Good morning, y'all. Do me a favor, smash that like button. 54 watching, 15 likes. Pat Huseman, Joey Vincent, Joseph Armato, Bob Poole, Pete, Teet, Jeep, Toasty. What's good? Hey, Janet, made it through the entire nightcap for the first time. Appreciate that, Janet. There was one mini rant on nightcap, and it was not to anybody in particular watching or commenting. It was to these scam artists who are creating pages that mimic Gamecoin, and they're phishing, and they're trying to get people to send in their wallet address. I'll say it again here to anyone who will listen. If you are on Facebook and you get a message from a page claiming to be Gamecoin and saying you won some sweepstakes, it is a scam. It is a scam. Please, we have reported it to Facebook. We've applied for a verification badge. Please report that post as a scam if you ever get that. Let's see. Brady Smith, good morning. Awful shot selection. Brady, I don't think it was awful shot selection. I think they took some open looks. They just don't hit them because they're not good shooters. There's a difference, right? I mean, the craziest part is the one day's hit when he spun around, right? He spun around and threw it up from the left wing as the shot clock's wound down, and he drilled it. It's like, whatever. Trivia Carter, Alex Barnes. Auburn was impressive. I believe that was a very educational game for LSU. Auburn's a very good team. Look, they were in the Final Four a couple of years ago. Bruce Pearl hasn't been playing exceptionally well. Jabari Smith is a 5-star potential top 10 pick in the draft. One and done potential top 10 pick in the draft. Kessler is a legit dominant big. They're a veteran team that knows how to score. They play with great energy. And Auburn Arena is a really tough place to play. Like if LSU ever plows the Maravich Center, I want them to do what Auburn did, which is build a smaller arena. I mean, Auburn Arena seats 9,000 people, and they pack it out every single night. And they're right on the floor, and they go bonkers, and they play an aggressive style. Like that's a really tough place to play. So, you're going to have some of those. Let's see, Apollo Balboa, 1985. Morning, Matt. How's the back and weight loss? Was yesterday a wake-up call or an outlier? Well, Apollo Balboa, back's not doing so great since the car wreck, quite honestly. I was feeling great leading up to that, and it definitely just threw me out of alignment, and I'm taking pain medicine and trying to get in to see Crystal over Restored Motions again, see if she can get me back in line, but just honestly not great. Was yesterday a wake-up call or an outlier? In the weight loss thing, I'm cyclical, man. I did great with Ideal Protein, and then football season came, and football season for me every year is a deluge of stress eating and drinking, and I always gain weight. So I got to lose about 10 pounds after football season, but that's already begun. So I'll get back down really quickly. And as far as yesterday being a wake-up call or an outlier, I just think it's more neither, actually. I think that's just the reality of this team, that on days when you are ice cold shooting and you're going up against a team that has a rim protector like Auburn, you're really going to struggle to score. Man, and the other thing, despite the start, you'd be down 18-1, despite being 6 of 29 from 3, shooting just 28% from the floor, you had that thing within 6 with the ball in the second half. And you had it, after Justice Williams hit that 3, you had it down to 6 points. You got to stop. You had the ball. You had a chance to make it a 1-possession game. And you turned the ball over, give up a transition dunk, and then that was it. So they battled back, man. They really fought back hard, which was great to see, despite all the adversity. They'll be fine. I'll tell you again, I'm predicting right now, LSU is going to beat Kentucky at the Maravich Center on Tuesday. Home teams will have a significant advantage in college basketball this year. Lesco Brandon. Lesco, Lesco. That's pretty funny. That's creative. Good morning, Matt. You good? Thank you. Let's go. I appreciate that. Will Wade will use the loss as a teaching point to the team. They'll come out with new focus. I mean, I think they know what their issues are. I don't know how you fix them. I think just you're going to run up against teams like that are better than you, and you need shots to fall, and they didn't fall yesterday. Christmas break plus Auburn being a hostile environment, serious home court advantage. Nerves got the best of the team last night. They'll be fine. Where are we? Dwayne official. Good morning. Turnovers and no shooting. You guys do know they're getting everyone back healthy. O'Neal is coming back. That was another positive last night. Dwayne, for those that missed it, last night after the game, Sharif O'Neal tweeted that he's been cleared. I don't know that you're expecting Sharif O'Neal to be this sort of dominant, impactful force, but you're talking about a dude that's 6'10". I mean, another long a guy that can play the 4, that can give you rotational minutes, that's eager to rebound and play defense, and has 5 fouls to give. And on a night like that last night, you would have needed it. So you could have rotated bodies against Kessler. I would have liked to have had Sharif last night. So yeah, that's a very good thing that he's been cleared and he'll be back. Let's see. Annoying because all the naysayers are waiting for this to throw out the told you so. Well, here's what you do then, PTG Toasty. You screen grab all of their tweets, and you remind them of that come March when LSU's in the NCAA tournament making a run to the Sweet 16. Because those are literally the worst kind of fans, PTG Toasty. The fans that laugh when their team loses, they say, I told you so. Like, they're the worst because they refuse to allow themselves to be emotionally vulnerable. They refuse to allow themselves to get excited when their team is playing well because they don't want to be disappointed when they lose. So when their team loses, they can laugh, go, I told you they weren't any good, which is crap because then when they are good at the end of the season, they're jumping aboard the bandwagon and go, well, they sure better than I thought because there's no emotional vulnerability there because, of course, you'd love for your team to be winning and you can jump on the bandwagon late. I just think they're all weak-minded losers, and I would just like to punch them all in the face. Anyway, so just laugh at them. Just wait for March to come. LSU will be in the big dance again. They'll win games in the tournament. You can laugh at those people then. Bob Poole, William Laws, Auburn's probably the best SEC school they'll play. They have no answer for Smith and Kessler. I know last night, so Tennessee worries me a little bit as well. And to be very clear, Coleman Coliseum has been a house of horrors for LSU. We talk about it every year. But LSU's got to play at Bama, and Bama's very good, and Nate Oates has them playing well, and Bama beat Tennessee last night. So take that for what it's worth. And Tennessee beat Arizona, handed them their first loss of the year. But, hi, Drew. What do you see, bud? Hey, bud. Okay. Drew's in there watching. Sorry. But Tennessee could be another one with Fulkerson. And I don't know if you saw, but last night in that loss to Bama's close loss too. Hang on, let me find it. Fulkerson and Chandler didn't play last night for Tennessee. Hang on. Let's see. Tennessee lost last night to Bama, 73-68. So it was a road game at Coleman Coliseum. Tough place to play. And Tennessee was without Fulkerson and Chandler. Fulkerson, I believe, is their leading scorer right now. Forgive me, Chandler is. So Chandler's at 14 a game. Fulkerson's at 9.9, at 10. So Vescovi scores 13 a game. So, that's the kind of team that can also give you trouble because of the inside-outside scoring presence. Now Fulkerson is a great veteran player, senior. but he's not 7 foot. He's 6'9". So physically you have guys that can stand up to that, but still, when you're talking about a savvy player, it's been around. So anyway, to the point, I guess to the point, who was that was making that Auburn's the best SEC school they'll play. I think at Bama is going to be very tough, and same with Tennessee. I think those are the matchups that you look at and you go, oh. So we'll see. Ben Giat, since Wade has been here, they seem to go through these lulls in scoring. I like him, and he's way better than we had, just something I've noticed. Ben, that's actually kind of ridiculous. They've been one of the best scoring teams in all of college basketball. This year is the outlier where they're actually a better defensive team and have struggled at times to score. Hey, buddy. Like, let's go to last year, where I think LSU was third in the country in scoring. Let's see. LSU last year was 8th in the country in scoring at 82.1 points per game. So, like, to say they've had lulls in scoring is actually just wrong. Like, that's what they've done exceptionally well, is they score. They haven't defended. I mean, the whole thing with Wade's entire tenure has been their inability to defend the three-point line. So, no, they haven't struggled scoring in Wade's tenure. That's what they've done really well. They haven't defended. This team is kind of a flip of that. Dwayne, let's see. When you have a big man in the air, don't jump with him. You get him in the air. Hey, but look, Dwayne, you got to credit Kessler, because he didn't buy any of the pump fakes, and he was just a better, more savvy player than Efton Reed. And that's what happens when you have a veteran player against a true freshman playing his first college game. Efton Reed's going to get better because of that, for sure. Hunter Darby, does Miles Brennan count against the 7-man transfer cap? Good question, Hunter. No, he does not, because he didn't transfer. Miles never left school, because he left the team, but he was always enrolled at LSU. So no, he does not count against the transfer. Let's see, appreciated the night, Scone, last night. You got it, Brandon. That's every Wednesday. We do Nightcap with Scone every Wednesday, so set your notifications. As always, I'll shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Folks at Brock want me to remind you that they are hiring. So if you're looking for a job, or a change of jobs, and you want to be in the medical field in 2022, our friends at Brock are hiring. brortho.com, brortho.com. Tim Gotro, Keith H, Rob Sense, what's up with the LSU players inbounding the ball into Auburn players' legs? I don't know. Look at Ben Giat. Joe is on my roof right now. Joe Morales, what a stud, man. We appreciate that. You know what? In honor of Joe Morales, let's do this.
Someone you know, my Scone, Ontario. All you need is Hudco. Call Hudco Roofing. 364-1007.
By the way, if you're someone into fireworks, New Year's Eve is tomorrow. If you're into fireworks, Mr. Toby Tomplay, of course, he of the AFR theme, the Hudco Roofing theme. Mr. Toby Tomplay and his family have had a fireworks stand forever. They're on Highway 42 in Prairieville. So if you turn off the airline onto 42, you go down a little bit, it's on the right. It's like across from the tire shop or something, or the car repair place. Anyway, they have a giant inflatable gorilla. If you go in, Toby told me this. He said if you go in and you ask him to sing the AFR theme, he'll give you a big discount. So if you live in Prairieville or you're going to buy fireworks, go support our guy Toby and Shelly, and make him sing the AFR theme. That would be awesome. And get a video of it and tag me in social media. That would be great. Matthew W. Matt, what you thought about the Coy Hill? Yeah, man, it's fantastic. So for those that are wondering, Coy Hill is, well, on the different streams. Anyway, the Coy Hill is the Jack Daniels 2021 special release. It's right there, YouTube, Facebook. Let's see if you can see it. Facebook, it's right there. Anyway, it's the 2021 special release. It's my parents got me for Christmas. There are only about 60 of them in the state of Louisiana. It's 141 proof. So it is fire in a bottle, but man, when it opens up, it is magnificent. A very full-bodied whiskey. Jack has done very well with their special releases. The old number 7 is the best-selling whiskey in the world because most people just spend $15 on it, pour it in a glass or in a foam cup with Coke or Sprite. But if you're talking about actual like sipping whiskey, they've done very, very well with their special releases. Jonathan 88808. Good morning, Scone. Give me a shout out on the HUD coach jingle. There you go. Trey Guy, what's good? James Corwin, what's good? Jared Guillory, Matthews pushes commitment to February. Do you know if that's good or bad for LSU? That's very good, Jared, but I'll tell you this. You talk about Jacoby Matthews from Ponchatoula. He will need NIL commitments. There's just no other way for me to say that. I'll just come out and blurt it out. Because Texas A&M supporters have already pledged significant NIL money to Jacoby Matthews. I'm just going to say it. I'll say it very flatly. So it's why he decommitted from LSU in the first place. And I'm not sure if you saw, but Gordon McKernan, who was on AFR last week, did tweet last night that they're moving in that direction with NIL. I'll read to you his exact tweet. Working to get it done on LSU NIL football deals. Go Tigers. KB, get Gordon. I don't know what KB is, but anyway. So, great news. They're moving in that direction. He's trying to organize, substantial LSU boosters to get these NIL deals done. Because if they don't, you asked specifically about Jacoby Matthews. Moving to February was good because it kept LSU in the running for him. But they've got to get him NIL money. They just have to. Do you think Will Wade is a top 10 caliber coach right now? In the country? I don't know that he's earned that distinction yet. I'd certainly have him in the top 25, considering what he's been able to do as far as recruiting and maximizing players, attention to detail, consistently getting LSU into the tournament. I mean, they would have, if there was a tournament in 2020, they would have been in it then as well. So they would have been in the tournament every year Wade's been here. I mean, he's in that top 20. I don't know if I'd go top 10 yet. I mean, I think you have to win at a higher level more consistently to be there, but top 25 for sure. Let's see, Tukey, Mello, and Daddy, what's going on with Deion Smith? Transferred. Deion Smith transferred. Unless he changed his mind, I'm not aware of. I wasn't aware of a portal transfer cap. Does it apply both ways? So, Bob, it's not a transfer cap. Effectively, what the NCAA allowed this year is you can sign 25, and then you can sign 7 over the 25 in a 1-for-1. So, if you sign your initial 25, you can take 7. If you lose 7 players in the transfer portal, you can sign 7 transfers 1-for-1 over that 25. So if you only lose 3, you can only sign 3 over. But if 7 players transfer out, you can sign 25 plus 7 transfers for a total of 32. Let's see. James Corwin might have missed it. Have you said anything about the new defensive football assistant Robert Steeples added to the program? We talked about it a little bit last night on Nightcap. So Robert Steeples went to Missouri, played in the NFL, young guy, 32 years old, was coaching high school, jumped into the NFL from high school. Typically that happens because you have a relationship, a coach that you played for or something like that. He was an assistant special teams coach with the Vikings. Some people say, why? Someone asked last night, why would you leave the NFL for college? Keep in mind, being an assistant special teams coach with the Vikings, if you're Robert Steeples, is akin to what Joe Brady was really doing with the Saints. When you're an assistant, this or that, not really a full position group guy. So, I mean, he was probably making, if I had to guess, somewhere in the $40,000 to $60,000 range. So he's going to get a significant raise. He's going to be one of the 10 full-time on-field assistants. It's a massive step up for him. His role wasn't listed, but I would assume it's just defensive assistant, likely that he'll work with the secondary. Brian Kelly's kind of known for wanting to have 2 secondary coaches. So, that coming a day after they announced Matt House, and my guess is that's something that Matt House okayed and was on board with. So they'll figure out roles, but another defensive assistant there in the boat. Keith H. Will Hudco jump into NIL? Yep. Yep, we will. I listen. You got to be clear. Not at the level that some are discussing. Like for us, it's one of those things where it's got to make sense for the business as far as the return on the investment, right? Like because we're not a 50 $100 million company, it's got to make sense. So, but yes, we've absolutely discussed NIL deals. Oh, KB. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, okay. So Gordon McKernan hashtag KB Keishon Butte. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. If you have Keishon Butte endorsing Gordon McKernan soon, that makes sense. And now you all know why Keishon Butte was very much looking at transferring to Alabama, which was an absolute thing that was very real. See, I tell y'all, man, I tell you this often. Sometimes I'll tell you the story without telling you the story if you're listening. And that's a great example of it, right? Like, it ain't that LSU doesn't have money or boosters don't have money. It's that there was no organization with respect to NIL. Gordon McKernan told you that on AFR last week, and he's trying to move in that direction. I mean, he acknowledged it. So they needed someone to organize it, and he's the one taking the lead. Great. They needed someone to do it. LSU was very open to NIL. Remember, if you remember when NIL launched, it wasn't that long ago, it was the summer, but there were a lot of coaches and admins pushing against it. And LSU said, no, we're open to it. We're open for business. Come do deals. Remember Ed Ogeron at the Rotary meeting? The guy asked him, would you be okay with us getting together? And he said, I would love it if you do that. Please contact Derek Panapsi. Like, he was 100% right. Absolutely. I mean, but there was no organized effort to make sure that stuff was taken care of. And LSU was popped for it. I mean, there's no way they should have lost Shaz Preston. There's no way they should have lost Kendrick Law, the receiver from Ponchatoula. Like, the players in state that LSU lost this year to Alabama, there's 3 wide receivers that are all leaving LSU, all leaving Louisiana. That's NIL related. Point blank. Period, paragraph. So they're getting organized, which is a great thing. Bradley Watson, they changed Kessler's stats, giving him a triple-double. I saw that, Bradley. Because after the game, I think he had 9 rebounds, but they gave him the 10th for the triple-double. Lance Hill think not having a Cam Thomas type player then go to the basket against teams like Auburn may hurt in the long run. Well, it's not just going to the basket, Lance. I mean, they got guys who can go to the basket, but Cam was the guy that could score from anywhere on the floor. He could pull up from 15. He could shoot the 30-foot three, and when it wasn't falling, remember that happened last year against Georgia. Nothing was falling in the first half. So in the second half, put his head down, got to the rim, was fouled, went like 15 or 16 from the free throw line, something like that. So he got his points. That was going to be Adam Miller on this team. He was going to be the guy that was your offense. That was your creator on offense, and he's hurt. So towards ACL, he's out for the year, and that's a devastating loss. Talked about it when it happened. John DeRoche, what's up? Daniel Laurent. Charlie Pennison. Did Wade say why he picked last night to give Justice Williams his first playing time? Somebody mentioned that. I think maybe they were trying to redshirt him, but when Brandon Murray was injured, they needed him to play. Let's be honest, this team isn't a good shooting team, so how far does LSU make it? And that's fine. Just there's a lot of teams that aren't good shooting teams that still make it far. The best comp I've heard so far is Houston from last year. And Houston went to the Final Four. Athletic team, defended like crazy, scored in transition, wasn't a great jump shooting team, but they made it to the Final Four. So you get a favorable draw, you play your game, you play at your pace, absolutely. Greg Phillips, what's up? Jonathan Martin, Auburn's a good team. LSU did everything in their power to make sure they lost this game. Come on now. You got to give Auburn a lot of credit. Auburn was better, and LSU is not a good shooting team. They were exposed. I do not believe LSU is the better team. Auburn's the better team right now. LSU was exposed in that game. It doesn't mean LSU can't beat Auburn. I mean, it's college basketball. Johnny Jones and a SWAC school went and beat Florida at the O'Connell Center. So Upsets happen. They got to be better. The dunk by Wilkinson was impressive. It was. Let's see. Blaine Smith. I think Perkins and Matthews announcing soon. Believe Matthews is the best of those two. We need both of them. Matthews, I think, is maybe the better NFL prospect. I think LSU needs linebackers more than they need another safety. But yeah, you'd love to keep a 5-star safety who's 40 minutes from your campus in Louisiana. John DeRoche, book your rooms to the NIT. No, bro. This LSU team with 12 wins in the pre-conference, if they're 10-8 in the league, that's 22 wins. They're going to the NCAA. Like, Lenardi's got them as a 4 seed right now. They're going to be in the tournament. Like, period, paragraph. Let's see where they're seated. They're going to be in the big dance. Todd Harris, good morning. Worm Dadon, what's up? Started late. It was going to be hard coming back from 18-1. Auburn really wasn't better than us. They were better. Stephen Fry, is Drew mimicking a blower? Yes, he is. That's exactly what he's doing. Matt Godwin, Glenn Thomasy. Will Wade try to warn the young players? They did everything Wade said they couldn't do. They turned the ball over for sure. That's one thing Wade said. You turn the ball over at Auburn, it's going to be bonkers. And they did. 17 turnovers last night. But the crazy part is Auburn had 18. Like, you weren't bad defensively. Auburn hit the 3 right there at the horn to get them to 70. Otherwise, they'd have been in the 60s. I mean, you can win on the road at Auburn allowing 70. I mean, Auburn as a team scores 80 a game. You held Auburn 10 below their season average on their home floor. Like, you just needed a few more shots to fall. You needed to create a little more offense, and you just didn't do it. Let's see. Patrick Cason, good morning. Are y'all doing whiskey and wine after the bowl game? No, we're not. The bowl game's on a Tuesday with an 8 o'clock start, which means we wouldn't start whiskey and wine until 11:30 at night. So on a Tuesday, and then T-Bob's got to do his show the next morning. So no, but maybe we'll try like next weekend or something like that to circle back and do like a season recap or something like that. What other on-field coaches does Brian Kelly need to hire? Well, he's got to hire an offensive coordinator. Very likely you're going to see a receivers coach, and Cortez Hankton at Georgia is the one most often mentioned as New Orleans guy. Defensive line, so Andre Carter is the one guy still there that we haven't heard what his future is going to be, if he's going to be retained or if he's going to be let go. So I believe that's all that's left. Preston Clark, good morning. And then whoever replaces Mangus, so a passing game coordinator or another offensive assistant, whatever role that might be. Morning, Matt. Do you think we'll ever see the day when players opt out of playoff bowls? I do not, Preston. I think we will see an expanded playoff and that more players will stay. Great morning show, like always. Got to run. Thank you, Ryan and Amanda Guidry. Appreciate that. Caleb Bernard, it's a relief. Whoops. Missed one. Bob Simo. Matt, where does GMEX fit into these NIL deals? Is that what the platform is? So, no, not necessarily. When GameCoin's platform launches, any athlete will be able to create their own token, which is an amazing opportunity for any athlete. So, for example, Kayshon Boutte could create an NFT or a Kayshon Boutte token on the platform, which people can then buy, sell, trade, collect, invest in. You sort of bet on the come. What if you bought a Kayshon Boutte as think of it like a digital trading card almost. But GameCoin has already done NIL deals with athletes. GameCoin did an NIL deal with Kayshon Boutte, Miles Brennan, Jay Ward, Ty Davis Price, Cam Lewis. I mean, a bunch of LSU athletes. Kirk Taylor, what's up? AJ Holland, GameCoin ambassador Jalen Cook put up 25 last night against Memphis. That's one that you think, look, LSU made a decision, right? And they like Eric Gaines and stuck with him. And defensively, I get it, but I really like Jalen Cook a lot. And I would have loved to have seen, And then that's probably Gaines probably isn't even the best example because you really went with Pinson. When you brought in Xavier Pinson, as a transfer, that's when Jalen Cook left. So it's hard to argue against that, man. Pinson's a floor general, has been through the SEC battles, and it's hard to argue against that. Let's see. Jared Guillory, sure Butte already had NIL deal, but looks like they doubled down on him. Jared, did you see it, Keishawn Butte, with any other than GameCoin, with any NIL deals? He didn't have any. That's the point. That's the point I keep stressing to y'all. Like, LSU player, I mean, aside from Brennan before the season doing a deal with Canes, I think a couple of guys did deals with Smoothie King. I know there was a clothier that gave the guys suits, for their walk down Victory Hill. I forgot who it was, honestly. I mean, that was kind of it. James Corwin, what's up? If all you see is street ball, then you're not paying attention, Kenny. I mean, look at the play design. LSU's never had a better out of bounds play coordination than they have under Will Wade. Look at the play they ran to start the second half. It was beautiful design. The ball got pinned against the backboard by Kessler because he was incredible last night. No. Will's a really good coach, man. Let's see. Rob Sense, wow, that raise is going to feel good, bro. What raise? Keith H, with the jingle, HUDCO will soon be a $50 million business. Man, I would love it. If HUDCO becomes a $50 million business, you might not hear me on radio anymore. HUDCO hits $50 million. We got a ways to go before that, though. Greg T, my son played D3 baseball. If HUDCO was wanting to start off slowly with NIL deals. Oh, plays. Got it. Stephen Bond, good morning. Jared Guillory, do you own part of HUDCO? I do, Jared. I mean, I've been very transparent about that. It's why I made the switch last year. It was an opportunity to be a partner in the business. So yeah, I do. And that's why I tell y'all, I mean, you can email me directly, matt@hudcoroofing.com. It's why, when I endorse HUDCO, I'm telling you, like, I'm putting my name and reputation on the line. Now, my role within the business is more the marketing and branding aspect of it. I'm not up there swinging a hammer. You don't want me on your roof swinging a hammer, but yeah. What time is it? 9:17. Okay. As always, y'all shout out to Brock, brortho.com. As I mentioned, they are hiring. So if you work in the medical field or want to or looking for a new career or a new job, check out Brock in 2022, brortho.com, brortho.com. James Corwin, love your t-shirt. Brings back memories of the halftime Bama game. Here comes 60, straight up your donkey. Bailey C, people laugh about Kelly's fake accent, but that doesn't matter, just win games. Yeah, I don't care about the accent. I don't even know that to me, it sounded more like he got caught between words and it just came out funny. I don't think he was faking an accent. I honestly don't. I think he just got caught between words. Decal, I knew they would not be mature enough to have the mentality to come out and play. I'm sure Will Wade preached all week, and that went in one ear and out the other. The opening 4 minutes was horrible. It was horrible. But I don't know if that was mentality. I think it was you didn't have shots that fell. And when you tried to penetrate, I mean, Kessler had 3 blocks like in the first 2 minutes. I mean, they tried to get to the rim. They're just exposed for what they are. They're just not a good shooting team. Britt Cantrell, 4 assists, 17 turnovers. That's a problem. Ghastly Gamer, 2 games in a row. We have been way under our average on free throw percentage, cause for concern. Yeah, I mean, that's always been a Will Wade thing, is wants to make more free throws than the opponent attempts. That's always been a hallmark of Will's team since he's been here, is they make free throws, and they didn't do it last night. That's a problem. Last night LSU was 13 of 20, 65% from the free throw line. Not good enough. Good morning from Auburn. People are acting like they won March Madness. Big win, Steven. Big win. But 17 conference games to go. Gregory Carter, LSU to the Final Four. Hey man, I made the pick. I'll stick by it. You weren't saying shit. What stuff? Excuse me. When they were one of 5 teams in the country to start season 12-0. When we all knew this start to conference play is going to be brutal. I keep saying just come out of this first 7-game stretch above 500. I would love to see them 5-2 if they could split the road games, win the home games. More likely 4-3. But I think you come through this first 7 games 4-3 in conference play. You are, and I am picking them to beat Kentucky. I'll continue to say that. I think they will beat Kentucky on Tuesday. If you come through that first 7 games at 4-3, look at what you have remaining. Texas A&M at home, you'll win. You go to TCU for the Big 12 SEC Challenge. Ole Miss at home, you'll win. At Vanderbilt, they're not good. At A&M, they're not good. Home against Mississippi State, home against Georgia, at South Carolina. Different kind of game, but still one you should win. You're at Kentucky, always a tough spot. Home against Missouri, at Arkansas, home against Bama. I mean, of all those games, the only one where you're an underdog likely is at Kentucky. So you get through the first 7, your remaining 11 conference games, you're favored in 10 of the 11. So, I mean, it sets up very nicely if you can just get through the first 7 above 500. Then you're talking about a 13-5 record in conference potentially. 14-4. A great chance to win the league if you're 14-4. Will Wade warned us, didn't see anybody hanging from the rafters, though. Charlie Broussard, James Brew, do you think college players are getting more NIL money than previous under-the-table money? Some of what I've heard is comparable. Out to boot. I can't get up to brush my teeth to morning Scone. Got the COVID. Sorry to hear that you got the COVIDs. Hope you're feeling okay. Plenty of fluids. Drink lots of fluids and get some rest. We'll all be okay. AJ Daigle, Kenneth Kyle shows that Efton Reed isn't developed yet. I think Efton Reed's a great player, but yeah, I mean, he got an education last night from a veteran, talented college big, no doubt. All right, we might be just about done here. Hang on. Drew's back is beeping. Oh. All right, y'all. Let's see. We might be just about done. So I shout to Brock, Hudco. You need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. You need a roof, you call Hudco. We have been absolutely jamming this week, man. I'm telling you, it's been amazing. The volume of calls this week for Hudco has been awesome. And you just tell. People got past Christmas and they're like, all right, let's roll. HudcoRoofing.com. HudcoRoofing.com. Or you can call 364-1007. You might actually get Terrio because the office line rings to the office and then to Richard Tilley and Ryan Terrio's cell to make sure that somebody is available to answer the phone. So you call the number, you may actually get Terrio. 364-1007, 364-1007, or HudcoRoofing.com. Charlie Broussard also home with the COVIDs. Back to work Monday. Good deal, man. Let's see. Any more? We might be just about done. Gary Atchison, good morning, Matt. 1 game, 1 loss. Calm down. Yeah, I'm perfectly calm. Kirk, is the band going to the Texas Bowl? Good question, Kirk. I don't know. Needless to say, there hasn't been a ton of excitement or conversation around the Texas Bowl. Most all of the interest and intrigue has been around LSU, Brian Kelly hiring a staff, roster, all that sort of stuff. So I don't know if the whole band's going, or if it's just like a pep band. What I do know is that if you send the band, you have to buy tickets for every band member. Like, it's something a lot of people don't know. You don't just get to send the band. Like, you have to pay for them to bus. You have to pay for them to stay in hotels. They have a food per diem, and then the ticket to the game. So like that comes out of your school's ticket allotment if you send the band. So 300 whatever members, but you have to pay that amount for those tickets. So anyway, so I don't know what else you're doing. I mean, I would assume at least a pep band, not a full band. All right, y'all. I think we're just about done. What's going on today? Got more bowl games today. By the way, what an easy call yesterday on Oklahoma. Oregon wasn't great last year to begin with, and down like 30, or this season, down like 30 players, just bonkers. That was as easy a call as there was, in my opinion, this bowl season. Let's see, today, how about the 10:30 a.m. Duke's Mayo Bowl with North Carolina and South Carolina? Motivation's obviously a big one there. South Carolina is going to be sky high in that game. I kind of like South Carolina, the points in that one. Got Tennessee Purdue today at 2:00. Tennessee's a 7.5 point favorite. They're not a real strong lean one way or another on the spread. Pitt, Michigan State. How about that? You got the Peach Bowl tonight. So the first of the New Year's 6. Michigan State's pass defense is so bad. I kind of like Kenny picking them to go sling it around a little bit, but could this be a game where Kenneth Walker goes bonkers? Maybe. Michigan State is a 3.5 point favorite. I might be inclined to take Pitt with a money line play there. I don't have a strong lean. And then Wisconsin, Arizona State. Wisconsin's a touchdown favorite. That one's out in Vegas. That's the Las Vegas Bowl. So, see how it goes, man. Anyway. All right. Y'all have a great day. Enjoy all the football today. I mean, from 10:30 a.m. to, the Las Vegas Bowl starts at 9:30 Central Time. So you want a full day of football, you got it today. So enjoy your day. Appreciate y'all so much. What's up, David Mailer Sr.? What's up, David Mailer Sr.? Appreciate that very much. By the way, before we get out of here, I want to give y'all a shout out. If you're around Baton Rouge, pick up 225, People to Watch edition. Kim Mulkey, of course, is on the cover, but if you flip into the People to Watch section, you will see a very familiar face. And no, I'm not talking about Brian Kelly. I'm talking about David Mailer, GameCoin CEO, co-founder, CEO. How about it? David Mailer featured in 225 Magazine's People to Watch. Already more than $2 million raised for charity in about 6 months with GameCoin. Absolutely incredible. I mean, to basically share the centerfold with Brian Kelly speaks to the importance of what's already been accomplished, how impressive what's already been accomplished. So if you haven't yet, y'all check out GameCoin. People always say buy the dip. Right, here's your shot. It's almost like a redo. If you feel like you missed it the first time, like what happens in crypto, we had a massive correction. Now you got a shot, man. You have a shot to get in at below half a penny, which I never thought we'd see. Grab it. Learn more. Do your research. Learn more about it. TheGameCoin.net. 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 GameCoin. Join us on our ride to the moon. All right. Y'all have an awesome day. We'll see you. Peace.